Hi everyone, it's Dawn. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video I'm really excited about because it's a drugstore video and I love drugstore makeup. I love finding dupes for high-end products. It gives me like a mission or something to do. Like one of my girlfriends recently had a lipstick that was discontinued, so I had her give me the remainder of it and I took it out and about for swatches and things like that. And it was really fun for me to find a product for her that worked just as well. And she didn't have to worry about her product being discontinued. So it's fun for me to try to find dupes for high-end products. And I duped a couple of high-end products that I'm going to share with you. And some of the other products are products from the drugstore that perform every bit as well as high-end, if not better. And some of them are reformulations of best-selling products from some of these drugstore brands. So I focused primarily on Maybelline and Revlon in this video, but that was for no particular reason. It was just when I was finding products to review that were reformulated, they were Revlon and Maybelline. And then I started thinking about some favorite products of mine that perform as well as high-end, that are really long wearing. They look great throughout the day for hours and hours, and you don't need to touch up very much, if at all. So let's just jump in and get started. I filmed myself putting on my foundation, and I'm going to split the screen and just show a bit of it for those of you who are interested. But after I filmed it, I started talking about the concealer that I was using, and then I realized I have the old version of this foundation and there is a newer version. So what it is the Maybelline Long Wear Super Stay foundation. And I used this 3 or 4 years ago and it was my favorite summertime foundation. And it is a full coverage, but it's very lightweight. The coverage comes from pigmentation and it isn't a thick consistency. Let me just put a little on my hand here. It's not watery and runny, but it will run. And let me just rub this into my hand and show you the difference. So it is a fuller coverage and it is non-cakey. It feels lightweight and breathable on your skin. It does not have a fragrance that I can detect. You know, everything smells like something, so I don't know. I don't detect any perfume or fragrance in it. No, I don't. So that's what that looks like. And here's my hand that does not have foundation on it. And it's like a flawless coverage. I was reading in the reviews because I like to read reviews before I review anything for you to see if there's a common thread in the reviews that I should mention. And I didn't find that, except there were a few people saying, bring back the old formula. I love the old formula. And I don't know why they changed, other than that the old formula, which is the one that I have, and I just purchased this at Walgreens. I needed a new one. So they're still selling it. So this is the old one and it's 24-hour wear. And I noticed that the new one says 30-hour wear and it says active wear on the top. So it's Maybelline's version of an active wear foundation, and it is sweat-proof, waterproof. I don't know if it's proof. It might, let's just say sweat-proof, sweat-resistant, water-resistant, humidity-resistant. And I really liked it because it gave my skin a really nice coverage anytime I had to go to events and things like that. And I really liked it. It was one of my HG drugstore foundations. So I picked up a new one and I've been revisiting it and I still like it a lot. It doesn't crease or get cakey. One of the reviewers said it's the I know you're wearing makeup, but in a good way. And I agree with that. It gives you so much coverage over redness, freckles, uneven skin tone, capillaries, hyperpigmentation, that, you know, it makes your skin look flawless. And so then people know you're wearing makeup because most people don't have absolutely flawless skin. I really like it. I'm 53 years old and I have combination skin. It gets drier in these areas and oily in the T-zone. And I use Retin-A, so I always have some degree of flaking. Something I always forget to mention to you all is that I do use a Tinkle razor and shave the peach fuzz off of my face. I never made a video about it because there's so many videos out there. But I do that, and I do it several times a week, and it removes any dead skin, and it also removes any peach fuzz. So it does give your skin a much more flawless canvas to put your foundation on. So I wanted to make sure I shared that with you. And I always moisturize really well. So I think when you're going to use a full coverage foundation, moisturization is very important. I think moisturization is one of the best things you can do for your skin. Okay, the next product is the Superstay 30-Hour Activewear Concealer, and this is the newly formulated one. So the foundation should look like this, you know, if you've got the activewear. If you pick it up at Ulta, they probably have the new one, but old foundation, new concealer, and that's how the foundation, how the packaging looks different. Now with a Superstay Activewear Concealer, and I've not tried this one before. I have used the old formula. It does have like this little doe foot applicator, and the applicator is kind of like, I don't know, you're not paying a lot for this. I think retail without any coupons is like $11. But the doe foot, you know, there's no complaints about it, but it's not like the Tarte Shape Tape doe foot where it's thick and fluffy and you can use it to really blend. This is kind of like a weird little flexible thing. And you probably can use it to blend, but I wouldn't. I use it to apply and then I blend elsewhere. But something I noticed about the Maybelline Fit Me concealer and the old formula of this is the first time I'm using the new formula, is that it has like a firming ability to it. And they don't market it for that, but I feel like my under eye always looks firmer when I use this. It just sort of like tightens up the skin. I don't know what it is. It's not pulling or puckering or anything like that, but it just makes my under eye look really good. I recently was using my Fit Me again, and then I remembered that. And then I remembered that I really liked this one too. That's why I decided to use these for this video. And I needed to replenish it if I wanted to use it because mine was really old. But it's a good concealer. Not cakey, conceals everything. I have blemishes right now, and they are due to, I've narrowed it down, the cream bronzers I've been using. I have 3 cream bronzers that are really nice, and I love them in my mix. And one of them has been making me break out like only where I'm applying the bronzer, but I've been rotating them, so I'm not sure exactly which one. I'm trying to narrow that down, but in the meantime, while it's clearing up, I've gone back to powder bronzers. Okay, now let's talk about Revlon's quads. Revlon has these quads that I absolutely love. They're the Color Stay quads, and even though you can't really find these at the store, these old packaged ones that say Revlon Color Stay, I would order them on Amazon and other places, and I always have a backup of this one and the burgundy one, and this is what it looks like. It's just the prettiest smoky eye. I've used this on my channel a lot, and I was jumping for joy when I found out that Revlon released them again, and they're in the drugstore, and I don't know if they're at Ulta. I haven't checked, but this is the old packaging, and this is the new packaging. Revlon Color Stay, and then Revlon Color Stay Day to Night. And they give you up to 24 hours of wear. These are very long wearing as well, but these claim to give you 24 hours of wear, where this one didn't really have a claim on it. Really long wear. They released these new ones, and there's an array of beautiful shades. So I picked up only one, and I picked up mine in Exquisite. I was really tempted to get the really lavendery purple one because it's just stunning. If you're gonna get one, get that one too. I don't know how this one's gonna look. I haven't tried it yet, but I decided to go with something different. And this one's called Exquisite, and it's sort of like plummy shades. And it's only 4 colors, so let's go ahead and swatch them. These are the colors. The lightest one there, the one next to it there, the pinky one here, and then the more burgundy raspberry shade there. And that's just one finger swatch, and they don't look patchy, and they swiped on just beautifully. So that's the palette that I got. On the back of the palette, they give you a daytime look, and they have them numbered, and the colors numbered, and then a nighttime look. So you can take it from a daytime look to a nighttime look by just applying a 3rd shade in a different way. I'm gonna do the daytime look because I always do a daytime look. I'm just gonna use Milani's eyelid primer on my eyes. This is just a really great drugstore eye primer, and I have to give you guys credit for this because I was looking for a really great drugstore eyelid primer about a year ago, and so many of you said Milani. So I decided just to pick up Milani, and I have no regrets. It's very creamy and hydrating. Doesn't dry out my lids. I was using the e.l.f. Putty eyelid primer, and that was really drying out my eyelids, and I didn't like that one at all. It was in a little pot. I have no qualms with the e.l.f. Putty products, but that primer was not a good one. I'm gonna take color number 1, the lightest shade, and I'm gonna apply it all over my mobile lid per the directions on the back for a daytime look. This is really pretty. You could even stop here. It's so like mauve-y and pretty for a 1 eyeshadow look. I've got a teensy bit of kick up going on. I didn't tap off my brush a lot. So we had some really beautiful weekend weather. We got our deck all ready for outdoor dining. We cleaned up our deck and wiped down our table. We have this huge table that's like 8 feet long that we sit at outside on our deck, and it's really heavy and we can't move it, so it sits out all winter. So I had to get that ready, put the umbrella in it, and got the chairs ready so we can start eating outside. And we actually did eat dinner outside on Saturday for the first time of the season. It's a little bit cold again, but it was such a nice reprieve from the cold. I was in heaven. I cleaned out the garage and, just did a lot of things that you need kind of nicer weather to do. So now I'm going with color number 2, and I'm going to put this in my crease. This is a matte. This one has a little bit of a sheen to it. I wouldn't quite call it, I guess maybe a slight shimmer. It's not super shimmery or glittery. And then I've got a matte here. Let's go ahead and put number 2 into the crease. I really like this because it's like a cranberry palette or a rosy palette without being too cranberry. Like cranberry being a little bit red or raspberry. And sometimes those colors can make me look a little bit ill. They can make my eyes look red. And I really like how these are kind of more dustier mauves. Now for the daytime look, it says to line your upper lash line with this burgundy shade. So I just have a flat angled brush that has some fuzz on it. And that's it for the daytime look. If you were taking it to an evening look, then they recommend taking 3, this pretty, maybe I'll do it just to show you the difference. So this would be the daytime look, and now you would just press this. Oh, I see. Okay, it's giving it like this kind of like multi-dimensional layered look, a little bit sparklier. And now I'm just using the Maybelline Tattoo Studio eyeliner in Carbon Intense, which is like a slate gray. I'm just going to do my waterline and go a little bit beneath my lower lash line and do a little wing. And now I'm just going to use the NYX Lift and Snatch brow kind of pencil thingy to fill in my brows. It's like a felt tip and it's really precise. And I am just going to do a really like everyday brow, just kind of fill in some areas where they need to be filled in and extend the tail. The mascara I'm going to wear today is the Sky High from Maybelline. This is such a good mascara. It went viral on TikTok like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. And it's such a good mascara. I have been comparing it to the Lancome Idol mascara. If you like that one, it wears identically to that mascara. I have both and I've compared them, doing one eye with the Idol, one eye with this. And I'm telling you, you get the same amount of coverage with the same amount of strokes. They feel the same on my lashes. They lift, separate, add some volume, not a tremendous amount, but some good volume. The difference is that this applicator is a rubber applicator, and so is the Lancome. It's like a rubber tipped applicator, which I like. But this one is more flexible and the Lancome applicator is a bit firmer. So when you're applying it, you can really get in and wriggle it around for those teensy lashes that are kind of hiding. This one, you can do it, but without as much ease. But for the price difference, it's definitely worth it to save some money and get the Sky High from Maybelline. Neither flake, neither smear on me. They're long wearing. So I'm really looking forward to summer because, like I mentioned, we really like paddleboarding in the summertime. It's kind of like a newer hobby and I really enjoy it. It's so peaceful and relaxing. And I'm just waiting for the weather to get warm enough and the lake or river to get warm enough so we can do some paddleboarding. We also have a trip planned, a little like long weekend getaway planned for Door County, Wisconsin, which I look forward to every year. It's like one of my favorite summer trips. So I'm looking forward to that. I have two blushes that I wanted to share with you and I couldn't decide which one because they're both really, really great. I have shared this powder formula blush with you before. It's from Revlon and I love the shade Apricot. It's one of my holy grail blushes. It seems like whenever I wear it in a video, someone will always ask me what's on my cheeks. That one's kind of like a little bit of an apricot shade, but it's kind of nudie too. So I picked up this one and it's called Tickled Pink for summertime, and it's the same like range. So it's the same formula and everything is the Apricot. It does get a little bit dusty when you rub it with your brush, but it's really long wearing, long lasting, is so beautiful. And that's what that looks like. Oh, and I also have the Revlon Insta Blush, and I absolutely love this too. So I wasn't sure which one to share with you, so I think I'm going to share them both. I'm going to go in with the Insta Blush first and just get like the apple of my cheek. This is a bit of a drier formula than a lot of these like multi-stick type products, but it's creamy when you blend it in. It's just not super, it's like if you compare it to like the e.l.f. putty blushes, it's not quite as creamy as those, but I feel that it's long wearing because it is a teensy bit of a drier formula, but there's no tugging or anything like that when you apply it. And I just love this shade of pink for the summertime. And it doesn't have any sparkle to it. I wouldn't call it a matte, it's just sort of like a satin finish. And I went light-handed because I'm going to use the other one too, but you can easily build it up and use this as your only blush that you're gonna wear. And it's a wonderful product. So it's not expensive. I mean, these are the types of products when there's a buy one, get one, you can get them both, which is what I did. So now I'm gonna take the powder formula, the Tickled Pink. And like I said, it's a dusty, like I feel like it's really dusty, but the performance makes up for that. And I just pick up the dust then when I go back in it, so I don't have to like shake it off or anything. It's my husband's birthday tomorrow, so I am going to pick up like a small bundt cake from the bundt cake store, the Nothing Bundt Cakes. But I'm also, on the weekend, we're going to celebrate with my parents because my mom's birthday is May 2nd, so we're combining them, and I'm going to bake a cake for that. I don't know if I told you guys or not, my daughter just had her birthday. My eldest turned 24, and I made a coconut cake that was amazing. I got it off of All Recipes, and it was so, so good. My husband requested that I make that cake again on the weekend, and we ate every bit of that cake. It was one of those cakes where you use a box mix, but you doctor it up. It's like a poke cake, so it's a box mix. You poke it with a fork after you bake it, but you change the recipe a bit for the box. Like there's a different ratio of eggs and water and oil and all that. And then you bake the cake, and then you poke it with the fork, and then you take like coconut cream and kind of pour it in. It's a mixture. It's not just the coconut cream. So it's a poke cake if you've ever had those. And then I only used half of what they recommended because I didn't want it to get soggy. I always read reviews, and I took that from one of the reviews. And then I made homemade frosting for it and put some coconut on the top. I toasted the coconut. Oh my gosh. I'm in heaven just thinking about it. I have to like diet today through the rest of the week to lose like a pound that I'm going to pick back up after the weekend for sure. How pretty that is. So rosy, so pretty. Now, since I'm going back to more powdered bronzers until I discover the cause of my breakouts, which cream bronzer is breaking me out. I think I have a feeling I know which one, but I don't want to say until I know for sure. So this is what this looks like. It's Sungasm from Catrice. So pretty. This is my favorite drugstore powder bronzer, and I'm just picking it up with a stippling brush from Morphe. You can get these at Ulta. I'm not really contouring, I'm just kind of bronzing. Now I have a Wet n Wild highlighter, and this is in Precious Petal, and this is a beautiful highlighter. One of you recommended to me, my subscriber friend Jennifer, and I'm so happy that she did because I love it. It reminds me a lot of my MAC Soft and Gentle. So when I'm out of my MAC, as long as Catrice is still selling this, I'll just buy this instead. And I really like it for like in the corners here, just to kind of brighten up. Anywhere you want to highlight. And I know that looks a little dark. It needs to be blended a bit. So I don't need to use a setting powder for my foundation. And, you know, it doesn't stay tacky. It dries down completely. But if you do, I would really recommend the Revlon Candid. I hope they still make this. The Fit Me is really good as well. I think Revlon and Maybelline do really great with their setting powders. Number 7 is also really nice. And I'm just going to kind of buff this in and blend out the bronzer. It's a translucent, it's not a pigmented powder, but it's HD. It's for photos and things like that. I have quite a few products I wanted to share with you for my lips today, and it was so hard to narrow it down. So I'm going to show you some options. The Maybelline Superstay ink pens are amazing. These are so long wearing, so beautiful. I even have a red one that I use like at the holiday time. They're inexpensive, just so good. Long wearing, get out the door. You don't have to worry about touching them up a lot throughout the day, and they don't dry out your lips. Cannot say enough about these. These are like HG, and as long as Maybelline makes them, I will definitely purchase them. I should do a pink lipstick video, a drugstore edition, and maybe a high-end edition if you're interested, if you're someone who likes pink lipsticks in the spring and summer, because I do. And then I have a Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink, and this is like this type of product. And I've only ever purchased this in the shade Dreamer, which I love in the summertime. And this is a long wearing product. It doesn't come with a gloss, so you have to find another gloss, because I always like to apply a gloss over these. They're a little too matte in my opinion, but during the day the gloss will wear off and the product will stay put for 4 or 5 hours, and then you do need to touch it up throughout the day, but it's really good. But I picked up a new product and I want to use this because I was researching the Chanel Lip Duo, the matte product that they have with the gloss on the other end, and they're like $40, and Ulta carries them now. Have you guys seen that? Ulta is now carrying the full range of Chanel, not just that little newer range, but the bigger Ultas have the full range, and they're carrying MAC too in store. So that is like crazy. I'm so excited, but it's dangerous too. So I didn't want to spend $40 on just one lip product. You know, I like to really rotate what I wear on my lips. So I was watching Stephanie Marie, and it's an older video, but she was looking for a dupe for those Chanel lip products. And one of the closest that she came to was the Revlon Color Stay Overtime Lip Color. And it comes with a lip stain and a top coat, just like the Chanel does. And this is the color of the product, but this is like not see-through. This isn't the product itself, but the product is this color. And this is what it looks like. Let me put it on my hand here. So it really does match well, I think, with the container. So it looks like what it should look like. And I'm going to apply this, and I'm going to let it dry momentarily and then apply the top coat. I'm not going to put on a lip liner today, but I think Stephanie was the one I heard say if you do use the Revlon Color Stay lip liners with them. So I don't have those, and I don't feel like digging around. And I think part of the beauty of some of these matte products is that they don't really feather. Once they dry down, they stay put. So that's what that looks like. I'm just going to let it dry a little bit. Oh, go ahead. Now, one thing Stephanie Marie did say in her review was that you do need to reapply the gloss throughout the day, whereas the Chanel, you don't have to do it quite as often. So there's that. But the Chanel are $40, and I think these are something like, I don't know, $7, and you can use your coupons and things like that. So you're definitely saving money. And it says 16 hours of wear. So yeah, we'll see. This is the finished look. If you like this kind of video and would like me to review more drugstore products from certain brands, you can let me know down in the comments the kind of videos that you'd like to see or what brands you're interested in. I love drugstore makeup. I love finding dupes for high-end makeup. There's no way I could just be like a high-end makeup channel. I always think, gosh, if I didn't buy so much drugstore makeup and saved money, I could buy all Chanel and just use that, you know, or just Guerlain, Chanel, and be a high-end makeup channel. But I enjoy drugstore way too much. I really love it. It makes me feel good to find a good bargain and find a product that works as well as high-end, because a lot of times it's just the packaging that makes the difference. So anyways, let let me know the types of videos you'd like to see. If you liked this video, hit like on your way out. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel and say hello. I love interacting with you. Even if you just leave an emoji, I love knowing who's out there and who's watched. So have a blessed and beautiful day. I'll see you next time.